races, 8,960 laps, and today at Atlanta Motor Speedway it comes down to the final 328 laps. In the next 4 hours we'll know who the NASCAR Winston Cup champion is. This is at 190 miles an hour.
17 years ago, a quiet kid from Corpus Christi slipped across the line into Winston Cup racing. Today, Terry Labonte holds a scant 47-point lead over his nearest challenger teammate, Jeff Gordon. The task would seem simple. Finish 8th or better, and you're the champion. But it isn't quite so easy. The bones broken in his left hand have not healed. And despite a splint for support and electrical wires to mask the pain, you can see the discomfort in Terry's face when he climbed out following the final practice yesterday afternoon. One would believe he would have to take that left hand off the wheel during this 328-lap marathon today. And if he does, and if he can prevail, years from now we'll look back to Monday's headline and says, this tough Texan won the title single-handedly.
Gotta be cool. Stay on the road.
Leader!
Watch the wall. I gotta stay at the ground. Run a little hot. Watch out your ear. Somebody's coming, better get out of here.
And the guy that could be coming is Jeff Gordon. Fast since he got here, and maybe faster than he showed in final practice here on Saturday. Now listen, they want me to tell you about him. What do you want to know? The guy's won 10 races this year. He's second on the grid. He's second in points. He got his first Busch win at this track. He made his Winston Cup debut at this track. He knows what he needs to do at this track today. He needs to get to the front fast and stay there for as long as possible. Don't worry about Jeff Gordon. He's been able to live out one dream while chasing another. Maybe a second Winston Cup championship.
I gotta put it up front. Stay on the gas. Gotta reverse across the line. Gotta reverse across the line.
As far as the championship is concerned, there is absolutely no pressure on Dale Jarrett and his team. They have third place locked up. They have nowhere to go but to the front, and that's exactly what they plan to do. This is the car that has won 2 races for them this year at Charlotte and at Michigan. DJ, 99 points behind Terry Labonte. He's a long shot, but hey, last night Evander Holyfield was a long shot too, and look what happened in the fight ring. He beat Mike Tyson. Todd Parrott, Dale Jarrett's crew chief, also told me with the kind of year that we've had winning all the big races, if we leave here with the Winston Cup Championship, it wouldn't surprise me.
ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, welcomes you live to Atlanta Motor Speedway and the 31st and final NASCAR Winston Cup race of 1996, the Napa 500. It's a beautiful day, the stands are filled, and we're going to determine who the champion is here in the next few moments. I'm Bob Jenkins, and welcome to the final race of the year. Everything that has happened up to this point in the Winston Cup season has been preliminary. It all comes down to the next 328 laps. The point standings, there you see the 3 in contention for the championship. 4th and 5th separated by 35 points. 7 through 10 separated by 99. No position in the top 25 is locked up. 20 can advance, and all 25 can either advance all or fall back from their position during today's race. Ned, we're down to it.
Yes, we are down to it, Bob. It's going to be an exciting afternoon here, battling for that championship. And you know, every driver that's battling for it, those 3 that have a chance at the championship, they got to do what they've been doing all year long. What's got them there? They can't afford to go out there and stroke and be conservative. They've been conservative to a degree all year long. That is in trying to keep themselves out of trouble. They got to do that today, but they got to run up front then.
And we keep talking about Terry Labonte has to run 8th or better to win the race if Jeff Gordon wins. Terry Labonte has to finish this race. He has to run 500 miles. If Gordon and Dale Jarrett are there at the end of the race and Terry Labonte has trouble with just 2 laps to go, he can lose this championship. And that's the tough part, running 500 miles.
Cars cars are on the Speedway. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for today's race. A very interesting starting lineup. On the pole, Bobby Labonte with a speed of 185.887. Jeff Gordon, second in points, starts alongside. Second row, Terry Labonte, the points leader, and Mark Martin, who's looking for his first win in 1996. Dale Jarrett, the other points contender, will start from the inside of the third row, flanked by his teammate Ernie Irvin. Then Todd Bodine and Greg Sachs make up row number 4. The fifth row, the most recent winner in the series, Bobby Hamilton and Chad Little. Hut Strickland will start in row number 6 along with Jack Sprague. The seventh row, Bill Elliott and Gary Bradbury. Row number 8, Rick Mast and Johnny Benson Jr., the Rookie of the Year. 7-time Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt starts in the 9th row with Robert Presley, and the 10th row is Brett Bodine and Lake Speed.
And 11th row, Joe Nemechek and Billy Standridge as the cars go down the front straight, row 12. Ward Burton and Elton Sawyer, that's the Harry Vernier car. Row 13, Bobby Hillen and Ricky Craven. Row 14, Randy Baker and Ricky Rudd. In the row 15, Loy Allen and Rusty Wallace.
Row 16, we find John Andretti and Wally Dallenbach. Row number 17 is Michael Waltrip and Sterling Marlin. Row 18, Ted Musgrave and Dave Marcus. Row 19, Darrell Waltrip, last year's pole winner here, and Jeff Bodine. Row number 20, we find Ken Schrader and Jeff Burton. Of course, they both use provisionals to get in the field. And row 21, of course, are provisionals as well, Jimmy Spencer and Morgan Shepherd.
And we had some top-name drivers load up and head for home, failing to make the race, including Jeremy Mayfield, Ron Barfield, Dick Trickle, Kenny Wallace, Derek Cope, and Kyle Petty. Each of those drivers failed to qualify fast enough to get into the field and had no provisionals available, or were lower than others who were eligible for provisionals. Well, there are some very key people in this race here today. Those are the spotters that will be in radio communication with their drivers, telling them where the activity is on the racetrack and guiding them through these 328 laps.
And making sure that when they're alongside traffic, as they come off the corner, they don't go up and squeeze that guy on the outside into the retaining wall, or going in the corner if someone's on the inside, and making sure they don't run that car on the apron and causing that car to spin.
Here's Dale Jarrett's onboard camera, third in points going in. A shot at the championship today if things go right for him and wrong for Jeff Gordon and Terry Labonte. Here is Jeff Gordon, who's going for his second straight NASCAR Winston Cup championship, trying to become the only driver who has won 2 Winston Cup championships in his 20s. Mark Martin won 4 times in 1995, is winless in 1996. He has been so close on occasion this year. He's looking for his first victory lane of the season. Kenny Schrader will leave the Rick Hendrick team at the end of this year. He had to take a provisional to get in the race and starts from the rear of the field back in row number 20. Brett Bodine could use a boost. He got a boost earlier this week when he found sponsorship for his effort in 1997. So he has at least a psychological drive for this race this afternoon. Loy Allen Jr., the last ride for the car sponsored by Health Source. He would like to bring home a victory here today for that sponsor.
And there we see Rusty Wallace in the 2 car. Another driver who's had trouble the last few races. Had 5 victories in 1996, but none recently.
Michael Waltrip, another one of those drivers who has yet to visit victory lane. In fact, in his career, he's sporting some different colors this year, or this race rather. It's a silver car, and that's being done in conjunction with a movie that we will tell you about a little bit more. Jeff Burton missed the field here in the spring after a good run at Daytona. He has a lot to prove here today. Jeff Burton ready to go in the Napa 500. And here is Rusty Wallace, one of those guys who's fighting for a position in the point standings. He'll finish in the top 10, but would like to move up a position here this afternoon.
See these fellows weaving back and forth, trying to get some flex in those sidewalls, trying to loosen those tires up just a little bit as Jeff Gordon back and forth, and to make sure that all the debris that could be on those treads of those tires are off.
You know, you wonder what's going through the driver's mind right now, Ned, but race drivers tell me that they're most comfortable when they get in the car, it's fired, they get the visor down, and they get ready to go racing.
This is the moment they've been looking for, no doubt about it. Probably the most relaxed they've been in a little while, especially when they come around this time and get that green flag.
Looking ahead, we have the Labonte brothers right ahead of Dale Jarrett. And, of course, it's very important to lead a lap. Jeff Gordon, that you see up there on the outside of the front row, would like very much to get those 5 points early, leading the first lap so that he can be that much closer to the championship. On the other hand, Terry Labonte would like for his younger brother to let him go around and be the first to lead.
This is going to be a very, very critical first corner. Who's going to get those 5 bonus points the first time by?
The green flag is out. The Napa 500 is underway. The championship at stake. Question who led lap number 1. It is Bobby Labonte leading the third race for 1996, about a car length and a half advantage over Jeff Gordon, and Terry Labonte is right there.
You know, looking at it from a brother standpoint, his mission now is to keep Jeff Gordon back there. If that was Terry Labonte, his brother, he might let him get up there and lead a lap. But Terry's got to get around Jeff, and he's making that move right now.
Here comes Terry to the inside at the line. They're side by side, and they race into the first corner. And Labonte goes into second position. Now he sets his sights on his brother and the 5 bonus points for leading the race.
It looks like Mark Martin trying to get under the 24 car. Trying his best to get by. Could not make it.
In fact, stretching out the advantage just a little bit on Terry as they go down the back stretch.
Terry got a good run off of turn 2 that time, though, and picked up a little bit on his brother going into the turn. What he wants to do is get a little distance between himself and Jeff Gordon, so if he gets up there and gets an opportunity, he can take that lead, but Jeff will draft by both of them. Now Terry is moving in a little bit closer as they go down into turn 1, and Bobby won't fight him for that lead. He'll let him get up there and take that lead and get those 5 bonus points.
Side-by-side battle back here. Bobby Hamilton trying to pick up a position, and as we look on back as to where the battles are, there is Michael Waltrip and Ricky Rudd, both to the inside of the 02 car of Randy Baker.
Buddy Baker's brother in the 02 car.
He was the second fastest in second day qualifying. And there you see now the speeds. Last lap, the fastest lap was turned by Terry Labonte.
He is definitely gaining on his brother. He's picked up the draft, and drafting very definitely plays a part here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway because of the speeds they run, close to 200 miles an hour on the straightaway.
Those two are pulling away from the rest of the field, separating themselves from Jeff Gordon and the others. They come off the corner, and still no attempt to take the lead, but now Terry may have a good run.
I think coming off of turn 2 or down the back stretch, I think he'll take the lead.
We see that Bobby Labonte, the 18 car, has got to go up the racetrack. And here comes Terry. He's got a run on him. And Dow's in the corner. Looks like he's going to be able to lead this lap.
Not a big surprise there. Both of them have great race cars, but as we said, Bobby's not going to fight his brother. He wants him to get those 5 bonus points.
Terry Labonte is one step closer to winning the championship with 5 bonus points for leading in a good battle for third as Jeff Gordon tries to hold off the advance of Mark Martin. He's not going to be able to do it. As a matter of fact, here comes Ernie Irvin, and Jeff Gordon is going backwards.
And Dale Jarrett comes as well alongside.
And here comes Greg Sachs right up there behind him, too, in the Gordon car.
Greg Sachs driving the car that would be normally driven by Robbie Gordon. He's at the Baja 1000 off-road race today and is not here at Atlanta. 8 completed. Terry Labonte is the leader at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
When Ron Hornaday Jr. is on the track in his Napa brake parts truck, he doesn't even think about stopping.
Man, Ron's flying today. Hey, it's Earnhardt. Your wife called. Said something about an anniversary.
But when Ron hits the street, he relies on Napa brake parts. Napa, we keep America running. Not to mention winning. Congratulations, Ron, on your NASCAR Truck Series championship.
You've got the winning color!
This is my dog, Lou. We four-wheel together. It's quite a workout for the engine. I also deliver pizzas, which creates a lot of stop-and-go driving. I use Pennzoil because it's been good insurance for my car.
Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts. Works like liquid ball bearings.
I change my oil every 3,000 miles or 800 pizzas.
No other premium price spark plug can take you there. Enter the performance zone. Only with Splitfire Performance V spark plugs. Get your passing gear, you're gone. Splitfire Performance V's mean more horsepower and better mileage.
The difference in gas mileage has been fantastic.
And now, get Splitfire V Performance for life. New Splitfire Triple Platinum Lifetime Spark Plugs. Enter the performance zone. Only with Splitfire Performance V's. Guaranteed. Good as they are, if you think added engine protection only comes in a bottle, this will rock your lifters. The new Fram Double Guard oil filter with DuPont Teflon additive already in it. The same amount of Teflon protection as a quart of the leading engine treatment. Now one filter does two jobs to fight dirt, driving extremes, and startup wear for a lot less than using almost any of the leading bottles. The new Fram Double Guard oil filter with DuPont Teflon already in it.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, defending Winston Cup champion Jeff Gordon has a problem. Gordon said the car is vibrating. It's got worse and worse and worse. And now we can see the left rear tire has worked its way loose. Actually, they've already changed right side tires. And now as caution being shown on the speedway due to an incident involving the car number 29, the problem continues here. Gordon in the pits. He now goes one lap down as Bobby Labonte goes by. They will change all four tires. And Bob, a tough break for Jeff Gordon and a tough break also for Robert Presley.
A heartbreaking situation for Jeff Gordon, and it came so early in the race. He's now a lap down, but we are under caution, and it is because of the 29 car driven by Robert Presley. We have the tail end of it over the backstretch to see if we can determine what happened.
Looks like he got too high and goes up, and I tell you what, I don't know that he hit the wall. They might just barely. There is a dark mark up there where the tire just might have brushed the wall. But Ned, did he do a great job?
Boy, and a lot of other drivers did too. He came right down through the middle of a lot of race cars. That could have been a big wreck.
Jerry, tell us more about Jeff.
This is the left rear tire off Jeff Gordon's DuPont Chevrolet. Take a look here at these lug nut openings. Ordinarily, they would be round, but you see they're oval here. What's happened, this wheel has worked its way loose and begun to bounce up and down, and actually the stud here has allowed this opening to vibrate back and forth. This wheel, whole tire was bouncing and vibrating. They came in and made a change, but they lost a lap, and of course, this could possibly cost this team a shot at $1.5 million.
That's kind of an unusual thing to happen so early in the race, huh?
It really is unbelievable.
And he actually went 2 laps down.
He is shown as 2 laps down, but don't count him out yet. It's very possible to make up a couple of laps here. It's been done before, so although Jeff has suffered a setback, he is not out of championship contention. Back in a moment.
Using the wrong tool. The Tough Duke Ford F-Series with the world's only standard third door. And now an available new 5.4-liter Triton V8 for even more torque and horsepower.
got all your holes dug, huh?
The new Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
I know just about every garage in town. I guess I ought to know them all. More professionals use Napa parts than any other. That's because they can't afford to put in the same part twice. Just look at the signs. When did you see anything but we install Napa parts? Dan here liked us so much he became a Napa Auto Care Center.
Hey, how you doing?
Yep, everybody loves Napa. Of course, some say it's the hat. I think it's my good looks.
We keep America running.
Up in heaven. Excuse me, God. Tell us about Larry Loretti. What inspired you to put him on the senior tour?
Well, you know how people say golfers are all alike? Peas in the same pod, cut from the same cloth? That got to be a bit.
So you made Larry a unique pea?
Right. The cheap stogie, living out of the motorhome thing. It's my way of saying all God's creatures are unique.
Am I unique?
No. Oh, come on, I'm kidding. Can God kid?
ESPN Speed World on hand today for the Napa 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the final race of 1996. It's being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running. By the all-new Ford F-150, strength after strength after strength. And by Pennzoil Motor Oil, first to fully achieve the tougher 1997 GF2 performance standard. We are under caution at the moment, however, set to go back to racing. And in fact, the green flag is out. Jeff Gordon was in again, and he now starts from the inside, and doesn't look like it's running much better, Jerry.
Well, they told Jeff Gordon to be very, very careful. He is now 2 laps down. They're going him back down pit road a moment ago. Changed the right rear and checked the left rear. They torqued every single lug nut. I asked Ray Evans and said, hey, we torqued them all before we left the garage this morning. We're not sure what the problem is. That may not be the whole problem. It may be something else in the rear end. That's what we told Jeff to be very, very careful for a couple of laps.
Well, he's got some fresh tires right now. We can see that he clearly is the fastest car on the racetrack as he goes by Terry Labonte. Now, if he can catch Bobby, get in front of him, and the caution flag should wave, he'll get one of those 2 laps, he's back.
As of right now, Jeff Gordon has slipped back to 3rd position in the point standings, and Dale Jarrett has moved up 1. We will, of course, track the championship for you throughout the afternoon, so you'll know who not only is leading the race at the moment, but who is the championship leader at the moment. One of the cars on the move is the Black 3 of Dale Earnhardt, who started 17th, and he's up to 8th.
Hut Strickland right in front of him, the Circuit City car. And also Greg Sachs giving a good ride to the first Union Pontiac today.
And here's Gordon getting one of those laps back. Boy, it didn't take him long to run Bobby Labonte down.
It sure didn't. That car is all right now. Remember now, under NASCAR rules, if the caution comes out now, the pace car picks up the leader, Terry Labonte, and Jeff Gordon gets to go around the whole racetrack and get one of his 2 laps back.
So right now, I think that Jeff Gordon would just try to stay in front of the 18 car. There's no point in trying to make up a mile and a half on the green flag. Just stay there and hope for a caution flag.
That's exactly right. He doesn't need to over-punish the car.
Remember back in November of 1992, a young man named Jeff Gordon made his first NASCAR Winston Cup start here. Last year, he clinched his first championship here, and today he's going for number 2.
Let's don't forget what Raymond LaJoie did a week ago at Homestead. He got involved in a wreck early, trying to win the Busch Championship, got a lap down. Everybody thought it was all over with. Got back in the lead lap, worked his way up there, and came back and won the championship.
Bobby Hillin is in the 77. Sterling Martin in the 4 car as they go to the inside of Gary Bradbury. There are the speeds, and you can see that the 179.4-mile-an-hour lap is the faster by the leader, Bobby Labonte.
Top 10, obviously we do not have the 24-car lap, but he certainly is faster at this point as Bradbury slips up the racetrack and several cars get by. Jeff Burton, one of those cars that was able to drive by.
Burton has worked his way up to 24th position. And that's the perspective out the back of Rusty Wallace's car. The 29 of Robert Presley is back on the racetrack, 10 laps down.
And here's a crash on the backstretch.
Todd Bodine in the 33 car got some damage, and the 58-52 car of Jack Sprague. And is there going to be a caution? There has to be debris on the racetrack.
But no caution at the moment. Here is both Sprague and Bodine still running on the racetrack, but a lot of crumpled fenders, and you would think that there would be debris on the racetrack, but NASCAR is showing no caution at the moment.
And wow, we see Todd Bodine lose control. I'm sorry.
There is Sprague going into the pits, trying to get some of that crumpled sheet metal away from the tires to permit him to go back into competition. Boy, a great qualifying performance by Jack. Now let's take a look at the replay. It happened on the backstretch.
This is what I was talking about just a moment ago. That's Todd Bodine. Might have been just a little bit of contact between Sprague and Bodine. Bodine goes around and Sprague runs into the cars. And look at these cars now. They're going to, Todd Bodine is going to save this car. He's not going to run into the inside wall. Wow.
That was a great job of driving by Todd Bodine and, for that matter, Jack Sprague.
Now Todd Bodine is in the pits, getting some. Let's go to the pits and John Curtin.
A lot of front-end damage on Todd Bodine, and they were hoping for a good run today after qualifying so well. The nose is pretty much torn away. What they're going to try and do is tape it back, and Ernie Irvin just getting around Terry Labonte out on the racetrack, but the crew will have to tape what's left of the nose together. Todd will go back out and run just simply 4 laps. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Jack Sprague sits in his car on pit road, hood up, heavy right front damage. They're going under the hood to see if they can't make some repairs under there. But Sprague, who would hope for a very good day after a great qualifying effort, sits on pit road as the field charges by.
So the work continues on the Jack Sprague and Todd Bodine cars, both hoping to get back out there. Meanwhile, it is Bobby Labonte continuing to lead. Ernie Irvin, as you heard, took over second position from Terry. Mark Martin is fourth, and Dale Jarrett is fifth. Jeff Gordon is a lap down.
This car may have Dale Earnhardt's name on it, but it could be yours. Jeff Gordon's, too. Even Rusty Wallace's. How much longer can he possibly drive it? At Jack's Auto Parts in Riverside, you can buy authentic NASCAR collectibles. Jackets, hats, keychains, even the shirt off Dale's back. The friendly staff will help you with everything a racing enthusiast needs. Jack's Auto Parts even buys collectibles. Jack's Auto Parts in Riverside, New Jersey. Catch the excitement of authentic NASCAR racing.
What do you do if the taste is great, but the price isn't? Polish off a Pabst. Get real. Get Pabst. No light beer can stand up to it. The great taste that won the gold medal at the world's biggest beer festival. Pabst Genuine Draft Light. The best tasting light beer in America.
Ace right trip flip, fullback motion, Q hot Louie, half 17, quarterback redraw, on two, ready?
The Giants try to outsmart Carolina on ESPN Sunday Night NFL.
The Napa 500, 29 laps old at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As we wrap up the 1996 NASCAR Winston Cup season, there is the leader of the race, Bobby Labonte. Running right behind him, Ernie Irvin and Terry Labonte. There are the top 10 positions at the moment with 298 laps to go. Again, Jeff Gordon lost 2 laps, has gotten one of them back at the moment, and is the fastest car on the racetrack as we speak. Here's a Napa field summary that will show you where everybody is running at the moment.
Todd Bodine comes back down pit road.
And Jack Sprague, the 52 car, is behind the wall. Those 2 cars involved in the incident over on the backstretch a few laps ago that did not result in a caution.
This is Rusty Wallace's car as he looks forward at Jeff Bodine's QVC Ford as he goes down in turn 1. And watch that road go by, folks. That's what 200 miles per hour looks like, about an inch off the ground.
Rusty has moved from 30th up to 23rd.
Jimmy Spencer that we saw Jeff Bodine go by.
Bobby Hamilton has passed Dale Jarrett for 5th place. So Bobby moving up through the pack a little bit. He started in the 9th position.
Closely followed by Sterling Marlin. Jeff Burton in the Exide car trying to get by Bobby Hillin. That's the 77 of Hillin.
And that is for 17th position as Burton tries to take it away from Bobby Hillin. Looks like he's going to be successful here as they come out of the second corner and onto the backstretch. Yep, the 99 goes into 17th spot.
Mention of Dale Earnhardt has moved up a couple more spots. He just took over 7 a lap ago.
Jeff Burton caught the group in front, and there's Michael Walker. There's the lead of the race. Bobby Labonte, Interstate Batteries, and we can say Chevrolet today for the last time. Next year that will be Pontiac.
Joe Gibbs' team going to Pontiacs. They've run Pontiacs in the NHRA for a couple of years now, and Joe's going to Pontiac for Winston Cup also. Now Terry Labonte comes back up on Ernie Irvin, the battle for second spot. Behind him is Mark Martin. There's Mark. Him is Bobby Hamilton. We can call him NASCAR Winston Cup winner. You can see he's 3.25 seconds behind the leader of the race as the ESPN pylon there shows you the intervals between the leader and the 10th place. Almost 10 seconds.
But Bobby Hamilton is gaining on Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, and Ernie Irvin right now.
Yes, Dale Jarrett in 6th place, 4.5 seconds behind.
A little bit over 4.5 seconds to set that. And the next car, you can see on the pylon, is Dale Earnhardt. That's Todd Bodine. A few laps down. There goes Earnhardt, closely followed by Bud Strickland in the 8 car.
Strickland had the good run at Darlington, and he thinks he can duplicate it here today.
It looks like he's going to have a great run. Early on, the car is super.
His crew told me yesterday, said, we're looking for a miracle. Said, we got that same car here that we had at Darlington that ran so good. So we're looking to pull one out.
Back in 9th position would be the number 40 car that is being driven this afternoon by Greg Sachs. As I indicated earlier, Robbie Gordon is at the Baja 1000 this weekend in the Trophy Truck Division, and so Greg has the handle on this car. Notice the fastest time in that last lap was Ernie Irvin at 176.0. Jeff Gordon is 176.1, but that isn't quite as fast as Terry Labonte turned the last lap at 176.3, but he is faster than the leader of the race. Doctor?
A moment ago, Ray Evernham radioed Jeff Gordon. You know how important it is to keep a driver psyched about his chances of winning. He said, hey, Jeff, partner, just keep digging. I'm working on a plan. We got a plan that's going to work here today. And you might speculate that plan would be possibly just 2 tires on that first pit stop, or maybe even they would gamble with a gas and go.
Jeff Gordon coming up on Morgan Shepherd, who's in his last ride in the 75 car. He's back in 34th spot. And John Kernan is with Jack Sprague, as Jack was one of those involved in the incident on the backstretch a few laps ago.
Jack Sprague is in the garage area, a lot of damage. And Jack, last week he won at Las Vegas in a truck, but this week a premature. What happened?
Well, yeah, the pedigree front after going off the good. We were a little bit tight. It really ain't hurt that bad. It's just cosmetic, but we're not in it for the points or anything. I was just passing Todd there for 10th, and apparently a spotter went on break. I don't know, but that's racing. That stuff happens. It looked like we were going to have a good day. We could run 10th, 11th there pretty comfortable, and we knew we could get it freed up a little bit, but it's just a little too early to be racing quite that hard. And, you know, he was holding me up pretty good, and I figured he wouldn't put up a big battle getting by, but he did, and this is what happens, and that's the way it goes. But I just like to thank Rick and everybody at Hendrick Motorsports for the opportunity. We've had a great year.
I guess, guys, that's what you could say. That's racing.
That is racing, and somebody who is really racing out there is Jeff Burton at number 99. He has moved up to 12th position. He started 40th. Wow. How about that?
Obviously, the car does not qualify very well, but races great. Had to take a provisional to get in the race.
And John Kernan has more.
Well, you know, we always talk about how Atlanta Motor Speedway is a super speedway. Well, that car that Jeff Burton is in is a short track car. His crew chief, Buddy Parrott, told me, hey, we're bringing the car that ran so well at Richmond a couple of months ago. And caution is out on the racetrack. That will help Jeff Gordon get back one of his laps. But that is the short track car that Burton has. Buddy Parrott says, hey, on the long runs, it's going to be fast as lightning.
You can see the reason for the yellow. There is caution on the racetrack. It's just past the start-finish line, and it belongs to Lake Speed's car. What happened? Can we tell from this angle? Let us see.
Looks like Jimmy Spencer goes up and makes a little bit of contact, or knocks the bumper off.
Yep. And so that is one of the breaks that Jeff Gordon needed. Now makes up the complete lap as the caution comes out on the racetrack.
See now, folks, the pace car is in front of the 18 car. There he is, and the 18 car right behind him, and Jeff Gordon is meanwhile just driving all the way around the racetrack and catching up to the field, making up almost a mile and a half.
Now, Terry Labonte had really gotten fast there. Those last 5 laps, he had passed Ernie Irvin back and was catching his brother Bobby Labonte. So Terry's car was really getting good there, but everybody will be coming into the pits now. Here they come.
Here they come. First service of the day on pit road as Labonte, Irvin, Martin, and others come down for their first stop. Here is Bill Weber.
Waiting for Dale Jarrett to bring his quality care Ford on the pit road. Mark Martin slides by first. Now Jarrett is here. This will be Ford tires and fuel. They're going to make a chassis adjustment. They were also going to make a track bar adjustment, but DJ said no. We tried that. It didn't work out, so they'll try and do it with wedge. The Labonte brothers are in it. Jerry is there.
Right side tires already going on. Bobby Labonte, they will tighten their car up slightly with an adjustment in the left rear. Bobby is down and away. Terry also now pulling out just behind the car 94 of Bill Elliott. They head back to turn 1.
As everyone comes out from the pits after having completed their first service of the day, we are going to take a break. 45 laps have been completed here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We are under caution because of debris on the racetrack from Lake Speed's car. The back bumper torn off in contact with Jimmy Spencer. Stay with us for more of the Napa 500.
Hey, what do you mean NASCAR's extreme? Don't they just go around in circles? Yeah, but when you're circling with the big boys, things tend to get a little extreme. You got a problem with that? NASCAR, extreme and always has been. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR, and always has been.
No other premium price spark plug can take you there. Enter the performance zone, only with Split-Fire Performance V spark plugs. Get your passing gear, you're gone. Split-Fire Performance Vs mean more horsepower and better mileage.
The difference in gas mileage has been fantastic.
And now, get Split-Fire V Performance for life. New Split-Fire Triple Platinum Lifetime Spark Plugs. Enter the performance zone, only with Split-Fire Performance Vs. Guaranteed.
I drive 150 to 200 miles a day. Well, my truck's my life. If it weren't for my truck, I wouldn't be making any money. So wherever the houses are, I go. And my truck's got to get me there.
I learned from my grandfather used Pennzoil, my dad used Pennzoil. I've been using Pennzoil for about 15 years, ever since I got my first car. I go through it by the case. I work hard for my money, and I want to make sure my money's working hard for me. I buy my oil at Walmart. I'm here all the time, and I know I'm going to get the best prices, and I don't have to shop around anymore. Nobody touches my truck but me. That's my baby.
When Ron Hornaday Jr. is on the track in his Napa brake parts truck, he doesn't even think about stopping.
Man, Ron's flying today. Hey, it's Earnhardt. Your wife called. Said something about an anniversary.
But when Ron hits the street, he relies on Napa brake parts. Napa, we keep America running. Not to mention winning. Congratulations, Ron, on your NASCAR Truck Series championship.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia for the running of the Napa 500. ESPN presents Sunday Night NFL tonight at 8 o'clock. The Giants and the Carolina Panthers. Giants 4-5 on the season. The Panthers coming off a loss to Atlanta. The first meeting ever between these two teams, and you can see it at 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN. And all of our friends in Carolina are watching the race today and going to the football game tonight. Huh?
Go Panthers!
There is Jeff Gordon. He's now one lap down, and he will be able now to pull to the inside of the long line of cars on the lead lap and get an opportunity to get his second lap back. Jerry?
That could be an omen for that DuPont team. They made one lap up on the racetrack rather easily, and now they came in, put 4 tires on, 1 can of fuel, and as you said, Bob, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to be up alongside the lead cars and have a shot at pulling off and getting back that lap. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Jerry, I'm up in Rusty Wallace's pit. He's been in for the second time. The problem is in the right front bumper, some piece of debris out there on the racetrack came through and punched a hole in it. So the crew has been busy taping up that hole. They'd like to be able to put and pop rivet a piece of aluminum over it to keep the air out of there, because if air gets through that hole up into that right front, it's going to cause the car to push in the turns. But right now, all they've been able to do is put a bunch of that 200-mile-an-hour duct tape on it to patch it up. So we'll see if that works. But Rusty is way back in the field.
Getting set for the restart of the race, there is Dale Jarrett. Again, he is currently second in the points because of the misfortune experienced by Jeff Gordon. But we're a long way from the end of this race and the determination of who wins the Winston Cup. The green flag comes back out. Jeff Gordon slides up between Bobby Labonte, the leader of the race, in second place, Ernie Irvin, in his pursuit of another lap.
Give a call to Bobby Hillen's crew. He came out in 6th place on that pit stop. Had a great pit stop. I don't know if he just changed 2 tires or what. Dale Earnhardt's about to pass him. You see on the right of the screen there, but they did have a great pit stop.
Bobby Hamilton made a quick in and out. Jerry, why?
Bobby came back in. Lonnie Loomis of the 28 team in front of him left their tire on pit road, and Bobby hit it, leaving the pit, banging the front air down. They had to come back in and pull it back out. That cost them a lot of track position.
Jeff Gordon is trying to get his second lap back, and he does. Sliding up ahead of the lead of the race, Bobby Labonte. An impressive performance here after the misfortune by Jeff Gordon. He's still, remember, though, back in 36th position, but he is back at the tail end of the lead lap.
35 cars on the lead lap.
Battle for the lead coming off the second corner. Ernie Irvin on the inside of Bobby Labonte going for the lead.
Well, he's got a run coming off of that turn. Labonte staying up on the outside groove, and look how deep Labonte drove it into the turn. But here comes Irvin back down on the inside once again.
And Mark Martin, 2 Fords on the inside, 2 Chevrolets on the outside.
Top 6 positions right there, along with Dale Jarrett and Dale Earnhardt. Still a side-by-side battle for the lead. Ernie Irvin to the inside and Bobby Labonte to the outside.
And all of that racing side-by-side is letting Jeff Gordon just pull away from him.
Bobby Labonte is eligible for $136,800 in Unocal bonus money. The Unocal bonus has never been won here in Atlanta. Jeff Gordon was the most recent winner of it at Pocono. Now Dale Earnhardt did win the pole.
Oh,
Crash.
Randy Baker crashes. That will bring out the cautions out, and Jeff Gordon is back in the lead lap.
Yes, he is. There is Jeff Gordon at the end of the backstretch. He's well ahead of those back of him that are battling for position. Look at Dale Earnhardt trying to come up to third spot on the inside of Terry Labonte. Let's watch this battle off the corner and see who goes where for the restart as the caution comes out. Gordon's back on the lead lap. Ernie Irvan, the leader of the race now.
Wow.
How about that?
Give yourself a hand, guys. Pat yourself on the back.
Here's Jerry.
Boy, you would think they just won a championship down here at the DuPont pits. They were high-fiving, jumping around, and a moment ago, Ray Abraham said, now, let's go win a championship.
What a story it would be here today if they can pull off that feat. My goodness. It looked bad for Jeff in the early going, falling 2 laps down, but he has already made up to 2 laps, and we're only 53 circuits into this event. Here's the crash that has brought out the caution.
Right at the top of your screen, the car is smoking. And then all of a sudden, the car goes sideways. When he tries to correct it, it goes sideways again and comes up. He's going to back in the fence right there. And the debris slides down the racetrack along with Randy Baker. There we see the debris sliding across.
No other car involved, however. Ernie Irvan has the advantage now over Bobby Labonte, Terry Labonte, Dale Earnhardt, and Mark Martin.
This car may have Dale Earnhardt's name on it, but it could be yours. Jeff Gordon's, too. Even Rusty Wallace's. How much longer can he possibly drive it? At Jack's Auto Parts in Riverside, you can buy authentic NASCAR collectibles. Jackets, hats, keychains, even the shirt off Dale's back. The friendly staff will help you with everything a racing enthusiast needs. Jack's Auto Parts even buys collectibles. Jack's Auto Parts in Riverside, New Jersey. Catch the excitement of authentic NASCAR racing.
What do you do if the taste is great, but the price isn't? Polish off a Pabst. Get real. Get Pabst. No light beer can stand up to it. The great taste that won the gold medal at the world's biggest beer festival. Pabst Genuine Draft Light. The best tasting light beer in America.
Just because you're a former athlete, it doesn't qualify you to be a SportsCenter anchor.
After the Olympic gold medal, the Rhodes Scholarship, 10 years with the New York Knicks, I was a U.S. Senator for 18 years.
How about any writing experience?
Well, I wrote 3 books, one on the bestseller list and the Tax Reform Act of 1986.
But no TV writing?
Any experience in front of an audience? Well, I gave a keynote address at the Democratic National Convention. I meant a large audience. Oh.
Jeff Gordon catching up to the rear of the field. He made another pit stop, but this has certainly been an impressive situation involving Jeff Gordon. This could be the most pivotal point of the race right here with the crash involving Randy Baker.
There we sit right on the top.
Caution came out. Jeff made up his second lap. Here's Jerry.
What a break for Jeff Gordon. They got back on the lead lap, and most importantly, the concern of that tire worked loose in the very early part of the race. They had stripped a stud on the left rear wheel. They wanted to have a chance under caution to come in before it got loose again and use a thread chaser. Now, what a thread chaser is a device that goes and basically rethreads the stud. They came in, pulled the left rear wheel off, put the thread chaser on, and rethreaded the top stud on the wheel, put a lug nut back on. Now they're hoping and praying that it will stay tight for the rest of the day.
And Jeff Gordon now moves up into the 29th position for the restart of this race, which will come momentarily. In the meantime, though, we'll take another break from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
The toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever. And only at the Home Depot.
When Ron Hornaday Jr. is on the track in his Napa brake parts truck, he doesn't even think about stopping.
Man, Ron's flying today. Hey, it's Earnhardt. Your wife called. Said something about an anniversary.
But when Ron hits the street, he relies on Napa brake parts.
Napa, we keep America running. Not to mention winning. Congratulations, Ron, on your NASCAR Truck Series championship.
Jimmy, light up the court.
And hit the radio, man.
Every day, car batteries are put to the test. And every day, America's most trusted lives up to its name. Die Hard. Tried and true.
Husky, the toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever. And only at the Home Depot.
ESPN News. Peterson, he doesn't even know what ESPN is. I was like, you watch ESPN News? He was like, what? He doesn't even know what ESPN stands for. ESPN stands for, like, it's like sports in Spanish, right?
Pace car pulls off the racetrack, set to go back to green at Atlanta. Running up in 7th position, only took 2 tires on that pit stop.
He got some great track position. He was 6th, he's now 7th, so still hanging up there.
Bobby Labonte now up on the deck of the 28 car driven by Ernie Irvan. Irvan has a great track record here in Atlanta. The last 5 finishes, 2nd, 12th, 1st, 7th, and 4th.
Another guy that has a great track record here is that black car in the right side there. Bobby Labonte ready driving deep into that corner, but look there on the right of your screen is that black car, Dale Earnhardt, all the way up to 4th there now, and he's on the move.
He has 8 wins here at this racetrack, the most among the active drivers.
Every afternoon in practice, Dale Earnhardt has some contact with another driver. They had to change a ball joint, 2 tie rod ends. They also changed 2 springs, a sway bar, 1 shock. A lot of changes on that 3 car. But here comes Jeff Gordon trying to march his way back to the front as he goes by Loy Allen.
The Napa Field summary will show you where everybody's running, including Jeff Gordon.
Closing right on the back bumper, the sit go forward. And I mean right on the back bumper, trying to get by. Can't do it. See Bill Elliott right behind him.
Well, he made up the 2 laps, but it isn't going to be quite so easy for Jeff to go up through the field now, but he's got a lot of time to do it.
That's the thing that's in his favor. He has lots of laps. He made up those 2 laps and let in about 50 laps. But yes, he has a lot of cars to pass now. But the good thing in his mind is, hey, I've already outrun the best in this field here twice. So
let's mention Billy Standridge here while we have the opportunity. When we went off the air last night after happy hour over on ESPN2 as the battle for the lead rages on, Standridge had crashed. They took him to the hospital. Bobby Labonte goes to the lead. They took him to the hospital, checked him over. He was released. He's in the race driving a backup car. Loy Allen's
backup car.
In 37th position, 1 lap down. Billy Standridge.
And so Bobby Labonte has reassumed command of this race with Ernie Irvan running 2nd, then Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt with Mark Martin then next, and in 6th position is the 88 car of Dale Jarrett.
He's hanging on. He's right there.
The car seems to still be a little bit tight. I watched him in the corners a little bit, and it's not exactly like it needs to be. I think it's better than it was before, but still seems to be a bit tight.
Well, he's not exactly in the race right now, but he can certainly see it.
Yeah, he can see what's going on in front over there, can he?
Ernie Irvan trying to get alongside of Bobby Labonte. Couldn't quite make it.
Bill Weber has more on Dale Jarrett.
And Dale Jarrett's car was tight exiting the turns, and that's what they wanted to make the adjustment for on that last pit stop. They did it with tire pressure, and they also made a little wedge adjustment. Dale has told him that freed up the car, and he's running a little better. And the tire temperatures seem to back that up. They showed he was 5 to 10 degrees tight on the right front tire. But so far, they're happy with the adjustments. They're going to plan to make another tire pressure adjustment on their next stop. And the one car chasing DJ on the track and marching toward the front of the field.
Yeah, he just moved into 7th position, Rick Mast.
Yeah, that's 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th as the 77 car of Hillen gets kicked back to 11th spot.
Those two tires probably beginning to hurt Bobby a little bit now. The newness has worn off of the right side tires, and that definitely is going to hurt him.
I received Jeff Burton, the 10th place car. Here's Mark Martin trying to take over that 4th spot from Dale Earnhardt. And we see Terry Labonte right in front of these fellas.
As we told you earlier, Mark Martin can knock Dale Earnhardt out of 4th place in the point standings this afternoon with a good, better finish than Dale Earnhardt.
He's only 35 points behind Earnhardt coming into this race.
And boy, every position is worth a little bit more money, in some cases a lot more money.
Yeah, up towards the top.
Yeah.
It changes dramatically up there, like 100,000 per spot.
Jeff Burton has picked up another spot. Here comes Bobby Hamilton to the inside of Bill Elliott.
You can see the damage to the right front on Hamilton's car. There's Mark Martin on the inside of Earnhardt. That's for 4th.
Oh, didn't get it done.
Earnhardt drove her down in there, didn't he?
Earnhardt's car seems to be extremely strong on fresh tires.
The difference between 4th and 5th in the point standings is $30,000.
Is that all? I thought it was more than that. But
it really falls off at 4th position. There's $1,080,000 difference between 1st and 2nd. That's quite a drop.
Yeah, from $1,005,000 to $420,000.
Here comes Dale Jarrett. He's gaining on these fellas, closing on the back bumper of Mark Martin.
But guess who is threading his way up through the field rather quickly? Jeff Gordon.
No big surprise.
It's up to 22nd. Since the restart, 31st, and now up to 29th spot.
22nd.
22nd, I'm sorry.
And about to get another one here from Jeff Bodine.
Yep.
Not quite.
So Jeff Gordon had problems early. He's made up the 2 laps. And Bobby Labonte is at the head of the field here in the Napa 500.
Who's got the winning color?
With new spark plugs, you get improved performance for a while. But only Bosch Platinum has a pure platinum center electrode that's heat fused. So Bosch Platinum reaches its self-cleaning temperature faster for full engine power and improved fuel efficiency over a longer performance life. Which means you'll replace a lot of other things before you change your Bosch Platinums. Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug.
I know just about every garage in town. I guess I ought to know them all. More professionals use Napa parts than any other. That's because they can't afford to put in the same part twice. Just look at the signs. When did you see anything but we install Napa parts? Dan here liked us so much he became a Napa Auto Care Center. Yep, everybody loves Napa. Of course, some say it's the hat. I think it's my good looks.
We keep America running.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
Man, my party is lame. I think I got some skunky beer.
Sir, relax. When was your beer born?
Born? What are you talking about?
It doesn't have a born-on date?
A what?
Do you have any Budweiser?
No, man, you gotta help me.
Okay, remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
New Born on Dating from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better.
Sir, put down the skunky beer and slowly back away.
Bob Jenkins, Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, John Kernan, Bill Weber, and Dr. Jerry Punch back at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the grand finale of the 1996 NASCAR Winston Cup season, the Napa 500. It's Bobby and Terry Labonte at the front of the field, then Ernie Irvan, and then we have this trio led by Dale Earnhardt.
Martin got it beside of Earnhardt a couple of laps ago, but couldn't make the pass.
I think Mark Martin has decided to back off now and follow Earnhardt. Keep his tires cool as he can.
Yeah, you can use those tires up in a hurry trying to pass someone. Get down on the inside and pinch it down and scrub those tires, build up the heat on them.
Especially this racetrack with the corners. Each corner, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, are 1/2 mile long. The straightaways here are only 1/4 mile long. So this racetrack, long corners.
99 car of Jeff Burton continues to be very, very impressive. He is now up to 7th position. John?
And as we look at the lap charts that the teams keep here, Buddy Parrott says that Jeff is 0.2 of a second a lap faster than the leader. And they're still not satisfied with the car yet. In fact, on the next pit stop, we expect him to take 4 tires, and Jeff wants him to raise the track line just a bit to help with the handling of the car. They want it perfect by the end of the day, and there goes Jeff as he tries to get around Rick Mast.
Yeah, that is for 7th position, so Jeff is now in 7th, Rick back to 8th spot. Oh, look at this mess, huh?
Man, oh man, there's Schrader, Michael Walter, Rusty Wallace, Loy Allen, Bobby Hamilton. What's that for? 23rd to about 30th?
Yep.
Red Bodine goes by the Lowe's car.
It's Dave Marcus up there on the high side of the racetrack as Michael Waltrip comes below, and also Rusty Wallace.
And Lake Speed is back in that pack too without that rear bumper. Hanging right in there with them.
In the battle also is Loy Allen.
Loy Allen takes a look at Bill Elliott as he comes off turn 2.
Elliott 28th, Loy 29th.
Loy and that team looking for sponsorship for next year.
Yep. Several announcements were made over the weekend. We'll tell you about as the race goes along. Terry Labonte in 2nd position, and as Jeff Gordon continues to come up through the field and pick off positions, he moves back into 2nd position in the point standings. He's got a long way to go to win this title.
Now Terry has caught his younger brother Bobby. Bobby had moved out to about a 15-car length lead, but now Terry is right there with him. He wants to get up there and lead some more laps. He is the only one of the 3-point contenders who has led a lap so far today.
And here might be the time. Nope, can't quite make it.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good run.
He does have a great run. Going to give it a shot. Turn 3.
And Bobby will back off this time.
So Terry goes back to the front of the field. And here's Schrader and Waltrip and Brett Bodine and others.
Brett Bodine was in front of that group a minute ago.
Yeah, and he's one of those who announced a sponsorship for 1997. Catalyst Communications and Frontier Communications will sponsor Brett Bodine for 1997. And boy, when you walked through the garage area yesterday and saw some faces that normally were with frowns because of their sponsor hunt, Brett had a big smile on his face all weekend.
Yeah, it's good to see him get that locked up. A 3-year deal, so his future seems to be secure as far as the sponsors are concerned. Now he just worries about getting that race team more competitive, which they're determined to do.
Bobby Hamilton running to the inside of Brett.
I mean, that's some really good race cars in that group.
And Bobby Hamilton was, he was a real good race car up there running at the front before he had to make that extra pit stop during the caution, got back there in the pack. And as you mentioned, it is tough to come back up through the field.
And you can see the damage to the right front nose on Bobby Hamilton's car where he hit that tire. And obviously that's making a difference on the handling performance of the Pontiac.
And right ahead of him is Ken Schrader, who had to take a provisional to get into the lineup here today. He's up to 22nd position.
He's 23rd now. Well, okay, you're right, 22nd.
Whatever.
Walker made that pass. Here goes Mark Martin trying to make the pass on Dale Earnhardt.
Once again, Earnhardt fights back on the outside. He's got that momentum going and drives her hard down in the corner, stays ahead of Mark Martin.
Dale Earnhardt has not won a race in the last 26. His longest winless streak